Well, it's a holiday in Grenada. Today is a holiday, the 25th of October 2025. Peace, peace, peace. I repeated it 3 times. Peace, peace, peace. I took a little rest right here by the fall edge. Coming from the Belmont area to the Grandans area down there. See the beach, the Grandans beach. I've been there quite a number of times since I came to Grenada. Well, the time is winding down now, but I just left the Grandans area and gonna move past the Belmont area and to see someone in the Springs area. Now someone said to me, Wendell, well, you know, most Grenadians know me as Wendell. Anthony actually my first name, but many Grenadians know me as Wendell. Say, Wendell, boy, you're in Grenada here, but I only see you walking all over the place. I say, yes, man, I take pictures, I make videos. And if I'm in a car driving, how the hell I could take a picture of a crab hole? Eh? A crab hole would remind me of the days I used to set crab traps. And in those days, when they set the crab trap, there were fellas, they used to get a crab. They used to get a crab before you. They wake up in the morning long before the cock crow and they take your crab. I asked a fella, I knew he used to do that when I lived in the Cooper Hill area, and we used to set crab trap down near where Angel Harp Steel Pan, the band, used to practice. I said, man, why you used to take my crab from a trap? He said, boy, not me, boy, not me, not me, I never used to do that. And I said, okay. But I knew it was him. So yes, when you walk, you actually see things that rekindle memories of your childhood days. When I lived in Belmont, I remember bathing in that area there, down there. I always think of throwing a line in the sea and catching a fish or 2. Maybe a grunt, huckleberry, a shitty, a bobby, or even a snapper. But again, I think on the next trip to Grenada, I definitely would do a little fishing. Yes, it's one of my wishes, one of the dreams that I have, to do a little fishing. Even though I don't catch a fish, the experience will be satisfying. So I'm moving on. Now it's a hot, sunny day. It's just after 9 o'clock in the morning, just after 9, but already the sun is stingingly hot. But I've done so much walking on the road, walking on the beach since I came to Grenada, that I can't wait to hear what my cardiologist would say when I see him next month, the month of November. I can't wait to hear what he would say. And while I'm on the topic of doctors, the cardiologists, let me tell the men who are listening to this video, healthcare and checking up on yourself is crucial. I know how we as men are afraid of doctors. We don't want to go. But let me tell you something. I was fortunate because when I was ill And I had to see a doctor because I had no choice. Because my condition was really, really bad. I'm happy that I did so. Preventive care. Prevent what you can prevent. And especially diseases like prostate cancer. Check yourself. And if you can nip it in the bud, do so. Check your doctor. I'm sure your girlfriends and your wives will tell you how important that is. So just a little encouragement, and if you heed the advice, I'll be happy. Good morning. How you do, man?
Morning.
Yeah. Yeah?
Well,
Well, I always do because well, I'm a prayerful guy, you know.
yeah, man.
God saved my life, you know. And so
Yeah.
I'm a strong believer.
Yeah.
You see right here, well, you have to believe because especially, let me tell you something.
And you believe.
You see these days especially,
Yeah, we
It's
live
so
in a crucial time now.
trials and tribulation.
Yeah, trouble in the world.
Look, I took a picture of a
So
grave.
David coming back again.
I tell you something.
Yeah,
I took a picture of a grave,
yeah,
made a video of it.
yeah.
It's not actually it's a grave, but it's a hole. Because that hole is waiting for somebody.
Yeah.
We have people fighting and cussing and
But
quarreling.
nothing got on, brother.
And you know what happened?
Something wrong with me.
The dead and the gone.
Yeah, somebody wrong with me.
And yeah,
The body be there, don't come
yeah,
there.
and all that kind of stuff. It makes no sense.
No sense at all.
That's why I always go. I look at birds. I look at animals. And
Yeah,
I look
the
at,
animal have all of that.
go to the ant,
Eh?
observe its ways, and be wise.
Yeah.
But I hold your track, man. But I'm a believer.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a spot where my good friend. See that mango tree? Jackie Miller. This
What
mango.
are you thinking about the somebody?
The Sabbath.
The 6 days of Shavuot and the
Well,
7 days
that's a
of
big.
Sabbath and the Sabbath.
That's a big. You're the Adventist, right?
Yes, I did.
Well, okay, but that's always be a controversy, and there'll be people that watch that'll be debated long after we are gone. Long after we are gone, they're going to be debating that.
But the Sabbath was there from long.
Well, you know, you don't want to get in that kind of discussion because you're going to be there after we are gone. So just believe in God, say your prayers.
The Sabbath can't save us.
Yeah. So coming back to that mango tree,
Yeah.
it should be a nice mango, boy. Real nice mango, and
I go see you.
yeah. All right.
All right.
So we go talk, eh? All right. So yes, looking at there. Every time I pass here, I have to remember my good friend Jackie Miller. Lived here first of all, and then way up on top of that hill. He passed away. Life. What is life? We like the grass. We appear today, and then we are gone. People fighting and want to bust each other head over petty issues. Anyway, let me get back on my conversation here on the road. I'm walking. It's sunny day, as I said. The rain fell this morning while I was at the place where I presently stay, where I reside. The rain fell. It's a nice spot here for somebody put up something. So those of you in Canada and the United States, you might want to inquire about this little spot. You notice while I move, the thoughts just come to my head and I will just digress and branch off from one topic to the next. But it's good to do so because sometimes you want to come back to it, but you forget. So as it comes, I just say it, you know. So yeah, somebody might like to dwell in this spot here, put up a structure where you can look out to sea and see all those yachts. Where do they throw their garbage? Eh? Somebody tell me they throw it in the sea. That's where the fish in Pandy Beach and other areas around here. The fish will be so nice and big. I don't know, don't quote me. Anyway, there's a sugar apple tree. When I lived down here, I lived in Belmont, eh? Boy, we used to kill sugar apples. Sugar apples, man. Well, watch. We had so much sugar apples. Those are the birds left for us. Because I always wonder concerning birds. Why birds and congaree? They wouldn't finish each one. Like a sugar apple or mango. They want to bite all. Put in a hole in all. So you don't want to eat anything that a kangaroo bite. You don't want to do that. But that's what animals do. And sadly, there are people who would do something similar. They try to eat everything. Hi, how are you? Yeah, they try to eat everything, and they put a bite in everything, meaning that what they can't eat, nobody else would eat. Selfishness, real selfishness. I'm passing another spot now. This might sound like a little repetition, but there's so many areas here as I walk that can remind me, actually reminds me of my days when I lived in Belmont. We lived somewhere up there, close to where Michael Macmillan used to work in the radio station in Grenada. He lived up there for a little while. And then of course, I'll always remember this hill. This little hill here, I remember for two particular reasons. One, there was a bad dog up there. And every time I walked up this hill, boy, I had to look for the dog. Because dogs have a way sometimes, they don't back, you know. They ain't back, and that's the dog you have to be worried about, you see. This is, barking dogs seldom bite. But the dog know that. You know, you know barking dogs seldom bite. You say that. But the dogs don't know that. So I had to look out for the dog when I walked on this hill. And I had a girlfriend who used to stay up in this area up there. I used to go up to the hill. We used to walk in the night. Oh, I remember those nice nights walking up there. But I always prefer the darkness, because when the moonlight, when it was bright moonlight, boy, I don't like the moonlight at all. I prefer the darkness. So this brings back memories. And you know why I prefer the darkness? Well, you know. Good memories. I'm going to show her this picture and she'll recall the glorious days we had walking up this hill. So let me move on. There are other things to talk about. Looking the spot where Mr. Royston Hopkins, because he was knighted, his guest house, right opposite to the area up there where we lived years ago. And actually, I ran into someone who remembers so well. I made a video yesterday. I was talking to a man, and that man, well, he knows more about my life and my family, probably more than me. He knows a lot. He's telling me about my father and my father's stay in Aruba. I have to sit down with him and get some more information because, you know, I'm a storyteller and I like to get the stories. My stories that I will tell my son, Anthony Jr., and my grandchildren, Sophia and Alexander, because they gave me a book asking about my life. So Sophia and Alexander, you wanted to know about my life. Well, let me tell you something. This is the area here, right here, where I used to stay and wait for a bus. A bus to take us 13 or 14 miles away, probably 15 because we're in Belmont. Yeah, up to a school in a place called Brothers in the parish of St. John. But what I'll tell you, we had to get up early in the morning to grab that bus. Because when we stood on this spot here to wait for the bus, and the bus used to go down to Grandans. Well, you have seen me take pictures and videos of the Grandans area. When the bus went down to Grandans area, sometimes we heard the bus. I heard the bus. Boy, that's the bus going down there. And I had to get ready quickly. Because when that bus came back and you're not ready, well, it was bye-bye Blakey. And you had to find your way up to the school at Brothers St. John's Christian Secondary School. But you know what? It taught me discipline. Discipline to get up early in the morning and to do whatever I had to do and to wait and to be on time for the bus. So yes, I learned discipline. This was a road that I walked many times. Many times. Okay, I'm gonna end this video when I reached what we used to call Islander Gap, because there was a hotel up there called Islander. Actually, the very first hotel was the Santa Maria Hotel. I'll show you the spot, and that's one of the better views that you can have of the harbor and the Carnage and the Old Fort, and of course the harbor. Islander. And Islander, okay, before Islander it was the Santa Maria Hotel. The Santa Maria Hotel. And there was a bus that we used to call a one more bus. There were two of them that initially came to Grenada. T.E. Noble Smith, I think, had one of those buses. And the bus used to transport the hotel workers up to the Santa Maria Hotel. Well, of course, as I mentioned in a previous video, the Santa Maria Hotel eventually became the Islander Hotel, and then of course during Prime Minister Bishop's time it was Butler House. Butler, Uriah Buzz Butler, the famous union leader. And I tell you something about union leaders. Yeah? You know, I like to branch off, talk about different things. You can't be a union leader and afraid. You can't play mass and afraid powder. Union leaders sometimes end up in jail. But these days, boy, everybody afraid jail. Yeah, and just preachers too, preaching all the gospel. But they ain't going to any place where they go jail them. And ask yourself why, yeah? It's easier to talk from a safe spot where you know nobody will harm you. You know? An armchair preacher or union leader. But Buzz Butler, boy, that man, a firebrand. Once upon a time he lived in Blogo Cottage. You know Blogo Cottage? Well, people call the whole area there now Williamson Road. But he lived in Blogo Cottage. Blogo Cottage. You know, I passed there last year. Actually, this year 2025, and I saw some Blogo trees there. Well, of course, the area was called Blogo Cottage. So what I'll do, I'm going to end this video right here. And as I promised, I promised to show you the gap leading up to what was called the Islander, and before that the Santa Maria Hotel. And of course this road leads to the Karani James Boulevard, which was once known as the Mang, and an area down there called Ballast Grung. You know, the ballast that they put to balance the ships, got the name Ballast Grung. And of course Lagoon Road, the lagoon, which I interest at all, because reading from Father DeVas in his book Grenada 1650 and beyond, and beyond is not part of the book, but I just put that, but the book actually gives information from 1650. He mentioned that area there is volcanic. And when we steal in our book, Grenada, a history of its people, she did say in the book, wrote that in 1902, when Mount Pelée erupted, the waters of the Carnage and the lagoon area down there, the water there showed its sympathy, meaning that there were waves and a little movement, sulfuric smell and so on. So it's all connected. And many geologists believe through Frere and Mount Pelee and the volcanoes in St. Lucia and Dominica, it's just a one chain. And we have been having some earthquakes. I pray to Papa God that we never have a big one. So yes, one last peek here of Mount Pandy Beach. I'm not going down there today, but before I take the plane back to Brooklyn, I'll definitely go down to Mount Pandy again and bid farewell. I'll go down to Mount Pandy and bid farewell to Mount Pandy, and of course, I always say my Marichaud, old Mr. Marichaud poem. I always say that when I come to Grenada. So God bless, God bless, God bless. I'll do a part 2. I'm on my way to Spring. I'm going to do the Belmont Road now and call that George. You remember the saying? Call that George. Anthony Wendell the Riggs, enjoying a hot sunny day in Grenada. And I said the rain fell this morning, and I came out to my video to take a picture of the rain falling. But before I say Papi show, boy, rain done, rain done. God bless.